Hello and welcome to Camp Xbox. I recently made a video of excellent original Xbox games that are playable on the Xbox Series X. After reading through the comments, I noticed many of you wanted to hear about some great 360 games that are playable on the Series X. Today I have 5 recommendations for all of you. The Series X offers a much wider selection of 360 games over original Xbox games, and it made it challenging just to choose 5. Today I picked games that I don't often talk about on the channel, and I tried to have a variety of genres. So we're missing some classics like Lost Odyssey, Gears of War, Forza Horizon, and many more. If you want to see this list again, be sure to tell me in the comments what you'd like to see in the next entry. All footage was captured using Series X hardware, and I want to thank my YouTube channel members, campers, and camp counselors. Thank you for your support, and let's go ahead and hop into this list. First on this list is one of my all-time favorite games, Bully. This is the Scholarship Edition, which is the upgraded version released for the Xbox 360. It was released on March 4th, 2008 in North America, and was published by Rockstar and developed by Mad Doc Software. Bully is available for $15 on the digital store, but I do see it go on sale quite often. It's a sandbox game where you can fight kids, get in trouble, and rise through the ranks. Yet that is Bully at its most basic, and it's so much more than that. With a small, detailed world, classes to upgrade yourself in, a social reputation, and so many customization options, it's an open world with so much fun to offer. And it has a tight story that keeps the game riveting, making you want to see where the plot goes next. In Bully, you play Jimmy Hopkins, who has a brutal home life. After being tossed from school to school by a mother who couldn't care less about him, he starts at Bulworth Private School, where many cliques exist, and he will have to rise through the ranks of each one of them. The plot is great, with some awesome characters that have that solid rockstar wit, especially the main antagonist, Gary Smith, a sociopath who will plot and lie his way to the top and has it out for Jimmy. Gary and Jimmy are some of the best written and voiced gaming characters, and their back and forth is fun. The dialogue in Bully can keep you going for a whole playthrough, but its world makes it entertaining the whole time. Since it's a private school, you have the ability to roam around the area of Bulworth Academy and the town next to it, as long as it's within curfew. You can bike and skate around, and areas are full of alleyways and small collectibles. It's an element I praise in a lot of open world games. The world does not have to be gigantic, because that usually leads to a lot of empty areas. I would much rather have a smaller world that is full of things to do and look at, and Bully offers a quality world over quantity. Bully has a lot to do with small jobs like mowing lawns or arcade cabinets to play games on, a carnival to take dates to, and classes to take. The classes are great because they give you simple mini-games that can upgrade Jimmy's stats, like making it easier to apologize, or it might even give you a new bike to use, so it pays off not to skip class. The Scholarship Edition is a great package all around since it is upgraded from the original PS2 version. It has upgraded graphics and 4 new classes like biology. You also get new story content like a whole section being set around Christmas. These are not essential to the plot, but I do think they're fun additions to the game. If you like how Grand Theft Auto felt in that generation, you will feel great here with a heavier focus on melee combat. The combat and controls have a great polish to them. Bully all around has a great look and feel with a distinct style. There's tons of colors, and watching the areas transform as you move through the seasons makes every chapter of the game unique and stand out. Same with the awesome music from Sean Lee, who gives the game such a unique feel. It's fun, light, and a bit jazzy. With tight bass lines, it has an energetic feeling that gives the game an adventurous mood, like something you'd find in a coming-of-age 80s film. Bully Scholarship Edition is an all-around incredible package, and it's a game I could talk about for many hours, but I'll stop here by saying Bully is a great open-world game with a tight but detailed world that will have you playing non-stop from beginning to end. It's worth your time to play this game for the first time, but it's also worth returning to if it's been a while.
You'll learn to like it.
Let's shift gears and talk about a racing game with Split Second. This game was released on May 18th, 2010 in North America and was developed by BlackRock Studios and published by Disney Interactive. It goes for $20 on the Xbox Store. Split Second is an arcade racing game set around a reality show. In this show, you race from the bottom of the rank all the way to the top. There's almost no story here, and it focuses on you driving in each episode and doing all kinds of different events. You could be racing against other racers, dodging falling exploding canisters off trucks, avoiding incoming missiles from helicopters, or making your way out of dead last to make sure you don't explode. All of these events are intense and fun, especially with the solid handling of the cars in this game. This is an arcade racer, so it's fairly simple to pick up and play. Turns and accelerating feel fast and intuitive. It makes the game feel close to Burnout with all of the destruction you dish out. As you drift on the road and draft other racers, you build up a meter. This meter can be used to interact with the track. The most common way is to blow something up and have the debris hit your opponent so they get knocked back in the race. It's quick and keeps the race competitive since it's easy to take out your opponents, which in turn means it's easy for you to be destroyed, not only by your opponents, but by yourself. There are so many times I've blown something like a bridge up just to smash into it because I didn't time it well. I think the destruction system helps people out who might find normal racers boring on their own, and it keeps the game energetic and has you doing something alongside the actual races. I think this element is its most fun when it transforms the track. Sometimes laps go by and fallen debris transforms the track, making you dodge to the side or take new paths around it. You can also open up timed shortcuts, allowing only you and those near you to gain a stronger lead. It gives every track a dynamic feeling, making this racing game anything but static. The shortcuts and destruction are what keeps this racing game fast and unique. It's also not easy. This game is tough and you will be down to the wire on winning some of the final races in the main mode. It's addicting because of that, and it's highly replayable. Track knowledge can be key, and knowing when to blow things up and where the debris will go can be essential to winning. It's also a great looking racer with a shiny gloss on everything. Cars are not based on reality, and they're their own make and model, which gives them a futuristic Wipeout feel. Each car has stats and a unique look. The explosions and tracks all look great, and I like its dystopian feel. It's destroyed by fires and destruction, and it's so entertaining to look around at the setting while you drive in it. Split Second is a great package and a great racing game, and I would have loved to have seen this turn into a franchise because it felt like a lot of the fun that Burnout had, and that was a franchise that would go dormant around this time. It's a great arcade game and perfect for people who like something a little more explosive out of their racing games. Next up is Blue Dragon, developed by Mistwalker and Artoon, as well as published by Microsoft Game Studios. Released on August 28, 2007 in North America, this game is $20 on the Xbox Store. Blue Dragon is a whirlwind of multiple gaming legends. Hironobu Sakaguchi, the creator of Final Fantasy, Nobuo Uematsu, the legendary video game composer, and the late Akira Toriyama, who was an artist for some huge properties in Japan. They combined forces to create a rather interesting and neat Japanese RPG for the 360, when Microsoft was adamant about ensuring Japanese games were going to be on the Xbox 360 platform. Blue Dragon is what you'd expect out of a JRPG as far as gameplay goes. You explore open worlds and dungeons, getting deep into the story. You level up your characters, equip them, and send them into turn-based battles. The turn-based system is what you expect. It's a simple game, and that might turn some people off. There were some reviewers at the time that were against its traditional gameplay, but I think that's part of its charm. I love old-school turn-based RPGs. They are simple and an effective way to fight and grind characters to perfection, and seeing their stats soar is so much fun. The shadow system here does enhance the gameplay, where every character has a shadow that can be transformed into different classes that have unique skills tied to them. It's simple, but I love the look of each of the shadows the characters get in the game. If you like old school traditional RPGs, I think there's a lot to love in Blue Dragon, but its art style does elevate it higher. Blue Dragon looks gorgeous. It has a cute cartoonish look that makes it shine and stay endearing. There's so much color that pops, and in an age where games were getting darker color schemes, this feels like anime coming through a video game. The characters are adorable, and all of the environments are rich with things to look at. I think exploring this mysterious world and all of its biomes is intriguing. It's a unique looking game on the Xbox, and on the Series X, it continues to shine. The story is cute and simple as well, with a group of friends taking on a giant land shark that is threatening their village. After taking it on, they unravel a conspiracy from the evil Emperor Neen. Once again, it's simple, but there's a nice comfort in simplicity if it's done well. I think it all comes together to make an excellent and chill JRPG experience. The score by Uematsu keeps the chill RPG feeling going with gorgeous compositions. If you're familiar with his work, you know what to expect, and it's enchanting and sweet. Except for maybe the boss theme. They got Ian Gillan of Deep Purple to do vocals for a track, and I've never been into it, especially when it plays in every boss fight. I'm sure this one has its fans, but I'm not one of them, but that is just a tiny element. Other than that, it's a solid JRPG, and it has a lot of the genre's hallmarks. It has a great style and a solid score. Its legend isn't as huge as Lost Odyssey with its towering story, but I still think it holds its own based on its cuteness. It's fun, a bit silly, and lovable because of it. Let's move on and go into a horror first-person shooter with F.E.A.R. This was released in North America on October 31st, 2006. It was published by Vivendi Games and developed by Monolith. F.E.A.R. is only available for backwards compatibility through disc and not digitally. Monolith had an insane horror first-person shooter run, releasing both this and Condemned around the same time. Both are excellent, and this one takes a more action shooter approach. I love this era of shooters right before Call of Duty 4 would drop and change shooters heavily. You have a health and a shield number, and you can blast away at enemies. It's quick, and shooting feels great, but the horror of it gets extremely dark. It legitimately has some freaky moments that still stick out if you play it today. In F.E.A.R, you play an elite commando who is part of the First Encounter Assault Recon. Your team handles paranormal threats, and a fugitive controls an army of clones. You go in and kill all of these clones, but you also run into paranormal threats and visions. This game is full of jump scares and has a creepy vibe that makes it feel brooding. Every corner you look down could have ghostly apparitions or an all-new strong clone to take on. With that, this game is extremely violent. Blood is plastered everywhere, and bodies are mangled in insane ways. If you are into body horror, this game's visuals are disgusting, but awesome at the same time. Much like Condemned, F.E.A.R has a solid visual identity. The combat is really simple, you just aim and shoot at enemies, but it all feels great. The biggest element is the ability to slow down time. It's a feature that has been done before, but the hazy effect that comes with it looks really nice, and the carnage you dish out looks great. It feels like it's going for a gun-fu Matrix style, mixed with paranormal horror. It's a uniqueness that made this game stand out so strongly at the time, and has led to it having a solid cult following. The level design could turn some off since it sticks to similar environments. It's generally industrial and gray, but it works in hand with the game. It sets the game location down in reality, and going through the metal labyrinths is claustrophobic. The levels are intricately designed, and there's loads of pathways and corridors to have to crawl through. A surprising amount of puzzle and platforming sections are integrated into this game, and it makes it feel exploratory, meaning that even if it's drab, going through the levels remains engaging. The AI helps out a lot too, because for the time, they're top notch. They will flank you and work as a team to take you down. You always have to be on the lookout. When you play on the harder difficulties, it can get intense. It's an action-packed experience from start to finish, it has a great look, and Alma is a genuinely freaky character. I wish F.E.A.R was available digitally for purchase, but unfortunately that's not an option. Still though, I think it's an excellent pickup for physical play if you own a Series X. It's from a great era of shooters, and the ragdoll physics are so much fun to look at. This one is perfect for any shooter or horror game fan. The final game on today's list is The Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion, which Bethesda published and developed. It was released on the 360 on March 20th, 2006. This game is available for $15 on the Xbox Store and also comes with Game Pass. I know in the last video I did talk about Morrowind, but I could not miss the occasion to talk about Oblivion. It is a brilliant open-world Western RPG that is deeply explorable and entertaining from start to finish. I know for many, Morrowind is difficult to go back to, but Oblivion meets streamlining with a healthy portion of inventiveness. Oblivion is a strong RPG that keeps fun and varied RPG elements even if the quest and journal system help you out a bit more than in the last entry. It keeps the game open for more people, but the best parts of the RPG experience are here and it's a great world to take part in. Oblivion has a strong look with bright colors and a full world. The cities in this game continue to have a sprawling feeling, with the main city filled with corridors of things to do. There's always somebody to talk to or some small task to take care of. And if you love being a criminal in your RPG, there is plenty of stuff to steal. The whole world is open to you, and it's fun and has amazing lore to dive into. The setting isn't barren, it's full of lush greenery and a simple style. It's a comforting place to walk in. This might be a controversial take, but the score in this game is the best in the franchise. The fluttering strings and compositions are perfect for adventuring. When the music is playing as you roll through caves or across plains, it feels like you are thrown directly into a fantasy world, even if the character models are a little scary. The combat is solid here too, with hits from weapons and spells feeling intuitive with strong feedback. Cave spelunking and going through dungeons is a great time, and I love the variety of enemies you run into in this game. I love how the missions are laid out with the guilds, where you have to visit specific cities to rank up in these guilds, pushing you towards exploring the vast worlds in their cities. The mission design in general is excellent, and there are many quests with multiple ways to solve them. It does a good job of giving you options tied to whatever role you have decided to take on in your playthrough. What I love most about RPGs are generally the side quests, and there's a large amount of side quests to do here. The story is also great and does a great job of feeling like an epic fantasy. Back in the day, one of my biggest gripes with this game was the number of loading screens in it, but on modern consoles, you can breeze right through these loading screens. It helps to make sure the game never slows down. If you want to play on console, this is the premier way to do it, and it also looks amazing here. I'm a huge Skyrim fan, but Oblivion is my favorite in the franchise, if you were to ask me right now. It's the perfect match between Skyrim and Morrowind, maintaining a sense of being player-friendly, but still feeling like a strong RPG where anything is possible, and runs can completely change based on who you're playing. Throw in that the world is gorgeous looking with excellent lighting for the time, the fantastic music as well, and you have an RPG that I can get lost in to this day.
Stop! You violated the law. Since you lack the funds to pay the court, you must now serve out your sentence. Your stolen goods are now forfeit. Then pay with your blood. What's the matter? Getting tired?
That does wrap it up for today though, and these are just 5 of the many great backwards compatible 360 games, so be sure to tell me your favorites in the comments below, and they might end up on the list next time. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, leave a comment below with any memories from these games as well as your recommendations, subscribe to keep up with the retro Xbox content, and I want to thank my YouTube channel members, campers, and camp counselors. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you here next time at Camp Xbox.